Where New England Patriots wide receiver Stefon Diggs is answering questions about off-the-field allegations against him for the first time.
In December 2024, Stefon Diggs was named in a paternity lawsuit that accused the NFL star of fathering a newborn child, a claim that carried serious legal and financial consequences. The case stayed largely out of public view for months, even as court filings moved forward and questions around paternity remained unresolved. The legal dispute involving NFL wide receiver Stefon Diggs began in December 2024, when Aileen Lopera, identified in court filings as Diggs' former partner, filed a paternity and child support lawsuit in Los Angeles County. In her petition, Lopera alleged that Diggs was the biological father of her daughter and requested the court formally establish paternity. The filing marked the start of a case that would later attract widespread media attention due to Diggs' public profile and the timing of the allegations. According to the lawsuit, Lopera stated that she and Diggs had an intimate relationship that resulted in pregnancy.
I ain't accomplished. I ain't done enough. It's a lot more work.
She claimed the child, named Charlie Harper Diggs Lopera, was born on April 2, 2025. The filing sought sole legal and physical custody, along with financial support for pregnancy-related medical expenses, childbirth costs, and legal fees. Lopera also asked the court to limit Diggs' custodial rights pending a legal determination of paternity. From the outset, the case was framed as a family law matter focused on establishing parental responsibility rather than a criminal proceeding. Still, because of Diggs' status as a high-profile NFL player, the filing quickly moved beyond the courtroom and into public discussion, with multiple entertainment and sports media outlets reporting on the claims.
But here's the kicker. He has a young lady that is asking for a paternity test. She just had her baby in April, and she's claiming that he is the father. Listen, all I want to say is a public service announcement to the ladies out there.
Court documents indicated that Lopera's legal team argued Diggs should be held financially responsible for the child if paternity was confirmed. The petition emphasized the need for child support payments consistent with Diggs' income level and professional status. It also requested reimbursement for prenatal care, hospital expenses, and related costs incurred during pregnancy. In addition to financial demands, the lawsuit addressed custody. Lopera requested full decision-making authority regarding the child's medical care, education, and daily upbringing. She argued that this arrangement would be in the child's best interests until legal matters were resolved. The filing did not include any criminal accusations and remained limited to civil family law claims. Legal observers noted that the structure of the filing followed standard procedures for paternity cases in California. Establishing biological parentage is typically the first step before courts address custody or support. At this stage, no genetic evidence had been submitted publicly, and the case remained unresolved pending Diggs' response.
And it is pertaining to Aileen Lopera and Stefon Diggs' paternity, because I don't know if this is a trick or if this actually happened, but if it is something that happened, I want you guys to think for yourselves, and I hope this video will get you thinking for yourselves, okay?
Stefon Diggs formally responded to the lawsuit in July 2025, several months after the child's birth. In his response, Diggs denied certainty regarding the child's paternity and requested that the court order genetic testing. His legal filing stated that he was not prepared to accept parental responsibility without scientific confirmation. Diggs' response also outlined his position should paternity be established. He requested joint legal and joint physical custody, arguing that both parents should share decision-making authority and parenting time. The filing further requested that any financial obligations be determined according to legal guidelines rather than assumptions tied to his professional earnings. By requesting DNA testing, Diggs shifted the case toward a factual determination that would likely resolve the core dispute. Genetic testing is widely regarded as the most definitive method for establishing paternity, and courts routinely rely on such evidence when making rulings in family law cases. As court proceedings continued, media coverage expanded beyond legal filings. The case drew additional attention due to concurrent developments in Diggs' personal life, including reports about his relationship with rapper Cardi B. In November 2025, multiple outlets
I will not give in. I will not forgive this easy. I will not go back. I will not go to the pattern. I will not go.
Reported that Diggs and Cardi B had welcomed a son together, a development that intensified public scrutiny. Entertainment and sports news platforms frequently reference the contrast between Diggs' growing family and the unresolved paternity lawsuit. Social media discussions reflected divided public opinion, with some users urging restraint until DNA results were confirmed and others speculating about legal outcomes. Despite the attention, Diggs did not publicly address the lawsuit in detail, allowing court filings to speak on his behalf. The sustained coverage illustrated how private legal disputes involving public figures often become part of broader celebrity narratives, even when the underlying case remains a routine civil matter. A significant shift occurred in November 2025, when Lopera's attorney, Tamer G. Armanac, stated publicly that DNA testing had allegedly confirmed Stefon Diggs as the biological father of the child. The statement was reported by multiple media outlets and described the test as conclusive regarding paternity. While the attorney's comments suggested the central question of the lawsuit had been resolved, the specific test results were not filed publicly in available court records at that time. The lack of detailed documentation led to careful wording in media reports, which described the results as allegedly confirming paternity based on statements from Lopera's legal representation. In family law cases, DNA confirmation often leads to a change in legal strategy. Once biological parentage is established, disputes frequently move toward custody arrangements or are resolved through private agreements rather than prolonged litigation.
Cardi B and her current boyfriend, Stefon Diggs, he's an NFL player. Listen, she announced the other day on her Gayle Key interview that she was having the first child with him, okay? She said, yes, me and my boyfriend, we're having a baby. And she said she wanted to announce it in her own time, and she's about to be the mother of 4.
On January 20, 2026, Aileen Lopera filed a request to dismiss the lawsuit in its entirety. The filing effectively ended the active court proceedings related to the paternity and child support claims. No public explanation accompanied the dismissal request beyond confirmation that the matter had been resolved. Lopera's attorney later confirmed to media outlets that the case was no longer being pursued. The dismissal did not include publicly disclosed details regarding financial agreements, custody arrangements, or co-parenting plans. As a result, it remains unclear whether the resolution involved a private settlement or an understanding reached outside the courtroom. The court accepted the dismissal, closing the case without issuing a ruling on custody or support. From a legal standpoint, this outcome indicated that the parties no longer required judicial intervention to address the dispute. Legal experts note that voluntary dismissal of a paternity lawsuit often follows confirmation of biological parentage. Once that question is resolved, parties may choose to negotiate terms privately, particularly when both sides wish to avoid extended public litigation. In California, establishing paternity can occur through court orders, voluntary declarations, or genetic testing. When parties agree on parentage, courts are sometimes no longer needed unless disagreements arise over custody or financial support. The dismissal of Lopera's lawsuit aligns with this common legal pathway. Importantly, dismissal does not prevent future legal action if circumstances change. Either party may return to court if disputes arise regarding parenting time, child support, or compliance with private agreements.
The baby rooms too. The baby rooms. Who is that? You. Oh, my personal life? Yeah. I told you about that. We won't talk too much about my personal life, but I heard about it.
Any celebrations that we'll see in the...
We'll see.
Throughout the legal process, Stefon Diggs maintained a limited public stance on the matter. He did not issue detailed public statements regarding the lawsuit or the alleged DNA results. Instead, his legal responses were handled through court filings and representation. Diggs continued his professional responsibilities as an NFL player during the dispute. Media coverage largely separated his on-field performance from his legal situation, though both remained subjects of public interest. His decision to avoid public commentary aligned with common legal advice in ongoing family law cases. As of the most recent reports, there are no active court proceedings related to the paternity claim filed by Aileen Lopera. The lawsuit's dismissal suggests that the immediate legal conflict has concluded. However, because the terms of any private resolution have not been disclosed, details regarding custody and support remain unknown. The case illustrates how high-profile paternity disputes can evolve rapidly once genetic evidence enters the picture. What began as a contested claim ultimately ended without a court ruling, reflecting the role DNA testing plays in resolving such matters. While the public attention surrounding the case has faded following the dismissal, the legal principles involved remain consistent with standard family law practices. Should future disputes arise, either party retains the right to seek judicial review. But for now, the matter appears settled. That changed in November 2025, when the plaintiff's attorney stated that a DNA test had allegedly confirmed Diggs as the biological father. Just weeks later, in January 2026, the lawsuit was abruptly withdrawn, without a court ruling, a public settlement, or any detailed explanation. This is the full breakdown of how the case unfolded, what the DNA test changed, and why the lawsuit suddenly disappeared.